Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you sort of a meal prep, cook with me for the week, and a few of my favorite recipes. So I start off by washing all of my produce. This is when I do any batch cooking. This is something that sort of saves me a lot of time, is that I wash and peel all the vegetables that I have going, and then I start cutting them up. Today I'm going to start off with a recipe that I absolutely love because I make my own chicken stock. So the day before I made chicken stock, and with the leftover chicken, because my chicken base that I use are chicken thighs, I make a buffalo chicken salad, which that we then add into wraps or make sandwiches with, or just add on top of salad. This is absolutely amazing. If you love buffalo chicken, this is the way to go. It also works like a great party dip. Anytime I make it for my friends, it is a huge hit. So I cut up about 2 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, and then I just shred the chicken that I have from the chicken stock. I take off any skin or any big parts, and then I just cut it up into small pieces, or just shred it with a fork is good as well. This is just the way I chose to do it this time. Perfect. I add about 2 tablespoons, big tablespoons of Greek yogurt and 1 tablespoon of mayo, and then I pour some buffalo hot wing sauce in there. And again, if you like it spicier, you add a little bit more of it. If you like it creamier, then you can add more yogurt. I tend to just sort of not put too much mayo in because we don't really like the taste of mayo in my family, so that's why I sort of supplement that with the Greek yogurt, and it's absolutely delicious. You can eat it with celery, you can eat it like in lettuce wraps, or here I was hungry, so I made myself lunch right away. I put some cheddar cheese in a wrap and I folded it in, and it is delicious. The one thing that I didn't actually have lettuce that day at home, so I would add some lettuce to it to make it even that like crispy fresh taste. So if you have that, I would definitely add that in. And like I said, it's a staple. I make it quite often because it's just so good. We can just keep eating it over and over and over again and just not get tired of it. So this is a huge win in my house, and it's one of the first things that goes. I pack it away in a sealed plastic container, and we have it for the next 2-3 days for lunches and whatnot. So a hack I recently discovered is to put a wet paper towel beside your onion when you're cutting an onion, and you honestly don't cry. It works like magic. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's my little tip if you're cutting up onions, and here I'm cutting up a few of them because the next thing that I'm going to be making is chili. Then this just works like magic. And then also at the beginning of, I didn't do this, but what you should do is put a paper towel under your cutting board, and that way your cutting board doesn't move around. So wet paper towel has multiple purposes. Once I've cut up my onion, I put it in the pot to get translucent. And then in the meantime, I'm just getting some baking sheets ready for some sweet potatoes. I always have sweet potatoes ready to go because in this case we can add it to the chili that I'm making. We also add it to salads. It's sort of a staple in my household. My kids just love it as a snack. And I coat it with salt, pepper, and like Italian seasoning, and it's delicious. I also had some bacon because it was on sale. We rarely eat bacon at my house, but I decided to make like a broccoli cheddar quinoa salad with it, and then just add bacon to it because it was on sale and it was in my fridge, and we use what we have in my house.
You feel like summer days to me, warm, tender, sunny rays. I hope that we are meant to be. You say nothing at all when we meet, yet somehow I know your history. Oh, come what may.
So just making sure that I'm mixing my onions while they become sort of clear, and then I get started on my sweet potatoes. So this is the wet napkin, wet paper towel trick that doesn't move your cutting board that I was telling you about earlier. I just cube my sweet potato. There really is no rhyme or reason. Again, my kids tend to like them cubed more than in strips, so that's what I do, but you can also make it into strips. The sweet potato doesn't get really like crunchy the way I make it. It's just soft. But like I said, we love it in salads and anything else, so this is a staple in my house.
Come what may, I'm ready. Picture frames, lavender paint, they all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Odd thoughts and some dusty dreams, and we seem to find common ground. Guess everyone's
Once my onion is quite translucent, then I add ground turkey. We tend to eat turkey in my house. That's just the meat that we prefer. We eat a lot of poultry. So here we go. And that is browning, and I rinse off my beans. Again, I had white beans and kidney beans at home, so that's what I used. And I also like my chili with corn, so I also added corn. But I know that's very controversial. My husband is not a fan of this, but since I'm doing the cooking, that's what I added. I just put everything in a colander and rinse it off really, really well and get my crock pot going to start that cooking.
the run and be the lucky one. Odd thoughts and some dusty dreams, and we seem to find common ground. Guess everyone's got their own sound. I never can.
So if you don't have a crock pot, you can just use like a regular pot and just set it at a really low setting and have that simmer and cook. I use a crock pot because I have one, but I just sometimes feel with all of these videos like everyone has all of these kitchen gadgets, and if you don't, that's totally okay, and you can just use a regular pot and set it on low. I always add my spices, and here I'm adding like Italian seasoning, and I also added garlic, which I didn't film, so just so you know. I always add like my seasonings right into the beef, and then I mix it, or chicken or turkey, depending what kind of minced meat you're using. And then I put it all together and I combine it and just set it on low for a few hours. Again, depending what time I am doing my meal prep. If it is in the evening, that I set it on high, and then at the end of like 3-4 hours, I separate it into containers or into jars. So I started cutting up all of my broccoli for this broccoli quinoa salad. I normally don't add meat to the salad because with the quinoa and the cheese, it's really quite filling. But like I said, I just had bacon because it was on sale. So why not? My girls, because we so rarely eat this type of meat, when they got home, they were so excited that they ate a few pieces themselves just as a snack. So there you have it. This keeps really, really well in the fridge too. We hold it in the fridge for like 2-3 days, and it's just a great salad to have for lunch. Instead of steaming my broccoli, because I didn't want to get another pot out, what I do is I just pour boiling water over it. If you like softer broccoli, then you can do this twice. I like very crispy, crunchy broccoli, so I just sort of do that, and then it has the like super green color, and it's just tastes delicious, and it's a little bit softer than without doing that. I also had some avocado that I needed to get rid of because I don't know about you guys, but avocado is like unripe, and then I have about 5 minutes to make something with it. And I just made a guacamole with it. Again, this is super for carrots, like a dip that we have to add it into wraps. I add quite a lot of lemon or lime depending what I have, and it doesn't brown, so we just can keep it in the fridge for a couple of days. And like I said, if you're like me and you have avocado lying around where it's not good for such a long time and then finally it's good, this is a great way to sort of preserve it and be able to eat it for the next few days.
But as you stand before me, I give in. Picture frames, lavender and pain, they all live here. Within this romance, I get the chance to stop the run and be the...
So this is another reason why I really enjoy doing meal prep, is because I feel like we don't waste food, and it's something that I'm very, very conscious of, is throwing food away. It drives me crazy because it's just like throwing money into the garbage. So I didn't have any onion left, so I used the rest of this green onion and I put that in the guacamole, and then the other half I put it into the broccoli salad, and then I had like this little bit of cheddar left and I popped that into the salad as well. And again, I had some red pepper. I was like, yep, that can go into guacamole because why not? So I just sort of tend to use everything that I have in my fridge and I plan it out in such a way that really we don't waste any food. And that's something that I guess meal prep gives me that peace of mind that we really are using everything. And here you can see my container was too small, but that's okay. My husband came down and ate what was left in the bowl as a snack before we had dinner. So here you see me taking out all like the vegetables from the chicken soup that I made, and I use all the vegetables and sort of blend it together, and we have like this vegetable cream soup. Sometimes I add coconut milk to it and ginger, and it has a completely different taste. If I have extra carrots, then I put those in there. Sometimes I add sweet potato if I have it in there. So sort of whatever, if I want like a different flavor, then I add some frozen veggies into there. But this way we have like a blended thicker soup again for lunch. And it's super easy, for example, to make croutons. So that's what I'm doing there. I added my quinoa into my broccoli salad, some lemon, and some olive oil, and I mixed that in together, and I'm telling you, this is probably like my favorite salad ever. It's filling, it just tastes delicious, it's super simple, and yeah, the girls also like it, and the quinoa just kind of absorbs all of the flavor. I probably should have switched a spoon there, but I figure it's just my family, so they can have some of my germs. Why not, I guess?
I'm your chosen one.
The original salad asks for dried cherries, but I don't know who has that. So what I also added was just, I had dried plums over from Christmas, so I added that in. I also very often just add cranberries because it adds that sweetness to it. And then almond flakes to give the salad even more of a crunch. And then I just take some mason jars and put the salad into there. And that's how I sort of pack most of our food when it comes to meal prep, is I just take a jar, and then that's perfect for like me and my husband for lunch. We just split a jar of food. And I do the same thing for the sweet potatoes, and the guacamole is also just in an airtight container, and it just lasts so much longer. Any sort of leftover like vegetable stems that I have, I put it in a freezer bag and I freeze it, and then I just make vegetable stock with it. I also cut up carrots and put them in water so that for the guacamole, so we can just use that as a dip. And the way my kids tend to eat raw vegetables more often than cooked vegetables, so that's always good to have on hand. And again, if I don't use them but in a few days, then I just add them to like vegetable stock or chicken stock that I made and just make a soup out of it. So it will definitely not go to waste.
Within this romance, I get the chance to stop the run and be the light.
So on TikTok, I saw someone making like wellness shots, which I thought, wow, what a good idea. And I had some oranges, lemons that had seen better days, so I decided to juice them. Lots of lemon, like some celery stalks that I had left over. I added some turmeric, garlic, and ginger, lots and lots of ginger. And you're supposed to take a shot of this every day, and it helps with not getting sick. So we started doing it. The ginger was pretty intense, but you know what? I'm willing to try anything to not be sick. So here it is, and this is my very, very messy kitchen. I tried to clean as I go, but you know, that doesn't always work. I tried snapping my fingers and the mess was still there, so that didn't work either. And for the very last thing I do is just blend this soup and put it into the fridge. I just use my handheld blender because that just tends to work the best for me. But like I love these kind of soups because they always taste different. Even though I use like the base is the same and the vegetables are the same, but depending on, you know, the ratio that's in there, it just sort of goes different. And then here you have my fully stocked fridge. We have chili, we have chicken salad, we have the broccoli salad, we have cut up carrots, we have our wellness shots, we have guacamole. Everything is there, and I just absolutely love that my meal prep is done for the week. And yeah, we're just happy to have that on hand and don't have to think about what's for dinner every single night of the week. Let me know if you like batch cooking, if this is something that you enjoy, this is something that you do at home. Maybe let me know a favorite recipe of yours to try out. I would love that. If this video helped you out in any way, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you're having just such a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.